Now, if you really want to know what is the Gini coefficient, it's basically a measurement that tracks the divide between rich and poor. That's all it is, okay? There is nothing fanciful about it. That's all it is. So basically, if the unit of measurement stands at 0, that means that basically you have perfect income distribution. So if you have 10 people and you have $1 to divide it, everybody gets 10 cents. But you and I both know that kind of egalitarian system is not possible, right? The question then arises, what if the Gini coefficient is very high? What does it actually mean? Now, this, like I said, is a question that even economists and people who are dealing with numbers, such as statisticians and people in my own vocation, do not want to basically get involved in. And the reason is very simple. It's because they would rather have it answered by philosophers and people who come from the humanities. And this is curious. It's curious because you would have thought that this would be pertinent, but for some reason it's considered to be a question that is not important. And that is why when we look at the whole issue of gauging whether we are successful or we are not, using the traditional prism of economics, what happens is that it tends to skewer the picture. Because what it does is it accentuates only the good points, and it basically waters down or blocks off, or in certain cases even blurs out the undesirable. And that basically is a problem. It is a problem because the goal, I think, in our case, is to get at the truth. And if we want the truth, we really have to work very hard in order to create a vantage point, a way for us to see what's happening around us and to measure it in a way that makes sense to us. Because unless we can measure it, then for all you know, your guess is as good as mine. And I think one important headway that we have to make at this point is to basically consider whether the fact that the Gini coefficient is high, is that a problem by itself? Now, a lot of people are arguing that and debating whether the Gini coefficient, because it is high, is undesirable. But in my view, that is a bit like looking at a man who's obese or who has a very high cholesterol reading, and he's walking around doing his thing from 9 to 5. He's perfectly functional. There's nothing physically wrong with him in the technical sense. But you are saying that he's fine. What I'm saying is that he may not be fine because the very fact that he's obese, the very fact that his cholesterol level is high, puts him in a range where he could be a walking time bomb anytime. And I think this is something that we have to look at very seriously, because